We're now talking to former Jaguars, Broncos, and Cowboys defensive lineman Jeremy Mincey. Jeremy, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
You look good, man. I mean, you're wearing the glasses. You're getting buff, man. You look like you lost a lot of weight, man.
Yeah, I lost about 15. I got about 30 more to go.
30 more to go. What are you doing, man? What's the secret?
Apple cider vinegar as soon as you wake up with some water.
Apple cider vinegar. That's it?
And working out.
Working out, showing those muscles. Flex for us, man. Show us those muscles, man. Look at those. Look at that. There you go. You're eating a lot of beef, man. You got those protein bars down the hatch, right?
That's right.
All right. Well, you got to share those protein bars because I was eating really greasy crap over there in Florida. I was down there enjoying myself. But anyways, we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you. And we all know what you've been doing over the last couple of years outside of the NFL. But the NFL just started. The season just started. 2024 just started. What are your thoughts in the first 2 weeks? What do you see moving forward for the Cowboys and obviously the Jaguars and the Broncos? Your three teams of what you've seen in the first 2 weeks, and what do you like and what do you not like of all three teams?
I like the Cowboys first game. Second game, they didn't they didn't deliver. I just think they didn't have the energy or the attitude that day, and I think they could bounce back from it. There's always games like that happen. And then we got to give credit to the Saints because they played an amazing game. They was flying around, man. They definitely gonna be one of those teams to watch this year. And Jacksonville, I haven't seen much of it.
There's not much to watch, let me tell you. I mean, they have not been very good. 0-2, and a lot of excuses after these two games. I will say that. And Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he stands, he's the captain, he's the leader, he's the franchise. You paid him $55 million. But I've been telling all you fans out there, all you Jacksonville fans, all you Trevor Lawrence lovers, that I just thought you overpaid for a quarterback that really has not developed into the player that everybody thought he was going to be. And Jacksonville's 0-2, man. I mean, as much as I love, and I repeat, I love their coach, and I love what he's done really as a leader over the years and won a Super Bowl. He's on a hot seat. And if the Jacksonville Jaguars don't get out of this and by the way, what's going on with Christian Kirk? I mean, he's on the field. Why is he not seeing the ball? Why isn't he has not been thrown the ball? It makes no sense when he's been your number one guy for the last couple of years. He's 100% healthy, and he's only averaging 40, 30 yards a game. I mean, he's looked horrible because he's not seeing the ball enough. So what is it? I don't understand. You haven't seen it, so it doesn't make any sense.
So. I mean, politics as usual, Sports are based on a lot of politics, so we don't know what they politicking in that locker room. All we got to do is just sit back and watch it unfold. Let's see.
If I had a whip, I'd start whipping somebody. Let me tell you. If I had a whip, I'd start whipping somebody.
We volunteer Evan Ingram as tribute.
That's a whole nother story with Evan Ingram. That's for a whole nother Mr. Pot Hands himself, who hasn't really started off the season pretty good either.
Well, he didn't play in week 2. It wasn't his fault.
Exactly. All right, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the Trevor Lawrence contract on a long-term basis. Obviously, it was surprising he got the highest paid at the time, and obviously he has to take that kind of step up. Like, do you think a lot of it is on him? A lot of it's on the coaching, like with him? And would you have given him that money now when he had 2 more years left on his rookie deal?
I would have waited. I mean, he showed promise, but he didn't show consistency. And that's the problem. Like, I think they overbid too much in this league. And, I'm from the era where you had to prove it to get paid, and you had to play out your contract. So, I didn't understand the move, but, hey, we just got to sit back and let it unfold.
Well, we know it's already unfolded, and it's definitely not folding back. That's for damn sure. I mean, if you were an envelope, you might as well wrap it up and just say, you know what, you made a big mistake. Because right now, Trevor Lawrence, I know it's early, but Trevor Lawrence is not worth the money that they paid him. And by the way, another team that hasn't looked really good is the Bengals. They're 0-2 in the first 2 weeks. And by the way, the Lamar Jackson Ravens are 0-2. Two teams that everybody expected were absolute playoff contenders. Two teams that are 0-2 and started off the season really bad with two of the best quarterbacks in the league. What are your thoughts to that?
Well, I think the Ravens' record doesn't reflect how good
I
they
agree with
really are.
you. Mhm.
And you forgetting he lost. I mean, the first game he lost by an inch. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
so who knows what if he would have made that play, what type of momentum would have carried them into week 2? They just got to shake it off, get back to the drawing board, and start making play. I would say hand Derrick Henry the ball more.
Yeah. So in terms of the offseason with the Patriots, I know you were briefly there with the Bill Belichick thing at the beginning of your career. You were talking about how he was in practice and him not getting a coaching job. Are you surprised at that kind of thing?
Not really. I mean, we're in a new age, and I think more organizations want to run with the younger, cooler type that doesn't, demand, more control of their system. So it doesn't surprise me. Bill is definitely one of the greatest to ever do it, and I think guys are just outgrowing the old way, if that makes sense.
And it's so crazy. And by the way, we are talking to former Jaguars, Broncos, Cowboys defensive lineman Jeremy Mincey, friend of the show, doing big things on the side. Making movies, production. I mean, the guy's killing it. He's making the mucho dinero, as we all know.
There's the answer, by the way, to his most recent video, the one you texted me on Friday,
There you
Jeremy.
go. I love it.
Oh
Love it.
wow!
Stop showing off, man. Stop showing off. Look
How
at the
you like my
family.
editing?
The Mincey family. Why am I not invited to this wonderful show on YouTube? I want to be a part of one of these episodes. Have me in the background. I'll be doing it. I'll be doing this. Mincey. Hey.
I would definitely love to, man. Listen. I'm making it like everything has a story to tell. You know what I mean? And whatever way you convey the story, that's the beauty in the whole process because a lot of that footage is raw and real. Like all these things uh, actually happened. It wasn't predetermined. It wasn't
Mm.
pre-prepared. It was just things that was happening amongst it. The reactions and everything. And all I did was just film my kids' reaction to how they felt about the situation and
Mm.
pieced it together.
Yeah, I piece a lot of things together, my friend. And if anybody followed me with a camera, you would have to pop a lot of popcorn and enjoy yourself because there's a lot of crazy things that happen. If you went to Florida with me for the couple of days that I was down there, I guarantee you wouldn't have stopped laughing. And I haven't even spoken about some of the crazy things that I dealt with down in Florida for 5 days. But that's a whole nother story. We're not here to speak about me. We're here to talk about the Mincey family. But anyways, going back to the Patriots and what obviously Bill Belichick is doing right now, and he's sitting home enjoying himself, hanging out with a 23-year-old woman. I mean, he's enjoying himself, wetting his Oscar wiener or whatever the hell he's doing over there. I mean, he's definitely not hanging out with Robert Kraft, that's for sure. And maybe if he is, they're definitely not going to be hanging out over there. They'll be hanging out in one of those massage parlors. But anyways, the Patriots are now heading to MetLife Stadium against the Jets on Thursday Night Football. Big game tomorrow. This could really settle who's going to be in first place at the end of week 3. What do you think the Jets need to do against Mr. Mayo and his cram defense that has played very well throughout the last 2 weeks?
Let Aaron Rodgers do what he do. Let him do what he do. Open up the playbook and just let him play and let him get back acclimated and confident into his playmaking ability. You've seen the plays he was making, and it looked like he's getting back to his old form. So, coach, just let him play, baby.
Let him play. How about we hire you as the assistant coach on the bench because of the garbage that they have over there with Bambi. I mean, I don't know if you know what Robert Sala's new nickname is. I gave it to him. Yours truly, Bambi Sala. Okay. Yeah, he's a deer in the headlights when he's over there on the sidelines. He's better off keeping his head between his legs than actually looking at the field because he has absolutely no idea what he's doing. Maybe his dingleberries will give him some answers. I don't know. That's just me.
I'm sure Jeremy doesn't want to hear that after what he had to deal with the last time he was on the show when you put the thing on your balls.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's
Jeremy. Do you remember that? Errol had to do that there.
Yes, man. Crazy, man.
10 minutes, baby. 10 minutes. Who's going to put Ben Gay on their balls for 10 minutes? Yours truly. And the myth, the legend. And I'm not Bambi. Okay. Just so you
I'm sure Jeremy doesn't want to think about that again.
boy, oh boy, I don't want to think about that again either. My face turned purple and I was sweating all over parts of my body you couldn't even imagine. Okay.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee, right there, man. It tells you not to put anything on your scrotum. Boy, oh boy, I took like 9 showers that night. Oh my God,
Ooh.
I was dipping for, I was dipping for some cheese, if you know what I mean.
Oh man.
So going from his balls to busting somebody's balls. Tom
So
Brady.
your balls had to absorb all that.
Oh,
Your
did they ever absorb?
Yeah.
They absorbed something, man. I'm going to tell you this right now. I've never been in I've been through so much pain before. I have never been in so much pain in my life. Let me tell you something. Stay away from the Bengay on your balls. Do not do that. I'm going to tell you this right now. And for shame on the Guinness Book of World Record, they wanted me to do it again. That's what Speedy said. They want me to do it again in front of them for 10 minutes. Get lost. Right. I will never do it again. I have enough to say that I did it. My face was purple. I don't need it to be purple, blue, or my balls to fall off. So thank you, but no thank you to the Guinness Book of Fake Records.
Sorry. Speaking of busting balls, Tom Brady, who had a roast in the offseason, probably 2 months after we had you on, he had that big roast. A lot of people taking shots at him. Did you see that? And what were your thoughts of that?
Hilarious. they were coming down on him hard, wasn't it?
Boy, they were. But I'll tell you this, Randy Moss, do not do that again. I mean, as a stand-up comedian, Randy Moss was the worst. I mean, he was laughing at his jokes. I had no idea what he was talking about half the time. I was like, what are you talking about? I have no idea. What were you drinking before you actually went on stage? I mean, I love Randy. I think he's got a great personality. But as far as a jokester personality, stay away from that. Don't ever do that again.
How did the chicken cross the road?
Could you imagine that? Talking about nursery rhymes that we heard when we were kids? I mean, come on. You were horrible. Randy, you were, by the way, Bill Belichick, one of the funny, he was hilarious. That was, I never realized how funny Bill Belichick was until I watched that.
Jeremy tried to warn us the first time we had him on the show.
Oh, yeah, he's very funny, man. Stiff, dry, but funny.
Maybe that's how he got a 23-year-old.
Probably is. Bill got game, baby.
Boy, he's got something. I mean, he's got mail.
He's right. He's right. He's calling all the right plays.
Oh, he better be calling the right plays. Hopefully, he has a lot of Viagra for those plays.
Where's
the blue pill? Where's the blue pill?
Don't tell Deshaun Watson.
Well, Deshaun doesn't need a blue pill, but if he does, there's something wrong.
He just want old Bill to fill the D gap, you know.
Oh, he's definitely not handcrafted. Oh man, we are talking to former Jaguars, Broncos, and Cowboys defensive lineman Jeremy Mincey. You know, Jeremy, you watched the NFL season, and everybody was talking about how the defense played last year, how it changed the game, and everybody was like, the NFL wants to make the game more offensively sound. But over even the first 2 games of the season, has it really been offensively sound? It's been more defense. There really hasn't been a lot of points. I am very surprised with all the rule changes, the kickoff rule, and all this other stuff, that you would have thought that it would have exploded, but it hasn't really in the first 2 weeks. Do you think with these new rules, do we see it picking up in the offense really transition to what the NFL thought it was going to be this year?
I mean, you know, it's like everything else. It just takes time for everybody to adjust. I can honestly say that, but I hate the kickoff. I think it's like that's one thing that puts the defense at a disadvantage. You know, you take one cut and then, you know, everybody is out of pursuit angles, and I don't know. It just seems like a defensive liability to me.
So what about the hip drop tackle? That was another thing that was banned this offseason. Now Joe Mixon got hurt, and he's complaining, oh, they're still not even implementing it right. So what are your thoughts on that new rule? And
I think that's crap, man. I think get the man down the best way you can. You know, like, I mean, it's hard enough already just to even play at that elite level, like everything you're doing is by every fiber in your body is trying to make a play. Like people are not thinking, oh, let me get into the right position to do this. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of this stuff is ludicrous, and I've seen a hit. I forgot what game it was, but the guy, he led with his shoulder, and the guy was going to run him over. He just happened to get lower than the guy and leveled him, and they gave a penalty. And I'm like, dude, what is he supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like shoestring tackle him and let him run by and grab him by the legs like Pop Warner? No, man. Like, you got to let him play, man. Like, these rules are really like, you know, I'm not a big fan.
Well, you mentioned Ludacris. You got the perfect song for that. Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way. I mean, come on. You know that. You know that riff. I mean, come on. I mean, that would be perfect. You mentioned Ludacris. That is perfect for all of us. So we should use that track every single time Joe Mixon is crying about, getting hit under his knees, his legs. Oh, my God. He hit me. This is football.
Two games with Stephon Diggs, and he's already complaining.
This is football. I mean, come on. I mean, the guy's 210, 215 pounds. He's complaining that he's getting hit below the knees. It's ridiculous.
It's 2 games with Stephon Diggs. He's already complaining.
It's despicable. You know what's really been cool to watch is Josh Allen. Okay, Jeremy, and everybody's been taking shots at this guy all off season. Every single time you hear he's on GQ, Jalen Ramsey, before he even stepped on a football field, making fun of him, saying that he's a bitch, that he's not ever going to make it in the NFL. He's a pretty boy. It's never going to work. And then how many people this past offseason, Stephon Diggs taking shots at him, you're going to see all this and all that he's not a leader. He's not this. He's not that. Well, guess what? Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are 2-0. And right now, the points for right now, they lead the AFC points for. I think they lead the whole NFL in points for. I think the only team that has more points right now is the Saints. The Bills are second right now. They're the best offensive team right now in the AFC and probably one of the top 3 in the AFC when it comes to defense. Are you surprised that Josh Allen is shutting people up? And right now, do you think Josh Allen is the MVP of the league?
Yeah, so far, Josh Allen's playing lights out, and most importantly, he's leading his team like a true veteran leader. I mean, so many people clowned this guy and ridiculed him and had Joe Burrow over him, but Burrow is no Josh, man. he's no JA, man. So he's killing it right now, man. Kudos to the Buffalo Bills, man. They definitely got something going.
So I see you're wearing a Florida Gators shirt. They're not doing too well this season. A lot of people want their coach fired or bought out or whatever it is. It's been a tough time after this.
What are you trying to make him throw up or something?
So what are your thoughts on everything
it looks
going
like
on?
He's about to
and how would you fix it if you were the AD over there?
I mean, we keep screaming rebuild, rebuild, rebuild. I think what should have happened was he should have had the kid that start now as a starter from the beginning of training camp. He was always better, than the other guy. And what's his last name? Langway?
Langway, yeah.
Lagway. This kid's special, man. I think, once the defense get in sync with each other and they find out different ways to win, I just think they got to beat that big opponent, get that one win to get some confidence in them. Because, I mean, they have the talent. It's just, they don't look like they're in tune with each other, and they don't. It's like everybody out for self, and you could kind of see it on tape. And I mean, that's what's happening right now.
All right, so who's the leader in the family? All right, and now let's get into the whole family life. I mean, obviously you're the man, but you got a wife, you got kids. Who says what goes in that house?
Me, but
I don't want to get you in trouble. Your wife better not be watching this.
No. It's me. My wife trusted my my judgment as being the leader of the household, but she is the most valuable role. I mean, she gets, when I have to take my son to football practice, she gets both of the girls to training. And by the time training's done, she have the food on the stove so they can eat and get some rest. So she's definitely the dictator, in all honesty. But we lead together, honestly, man, and we just try to keep the kids motivated and stay focused and dedicated.
So I want to talk about your episode now that we're watching on this screen. Like, what is some of the experiences like you went in discussing that kind of thing? You coaching as well, you getting involved with the kids, and the production and the interview part of it too. What was the whole thing like for you?
Oh man, it was awesome. I directed it. I put those questions together to ask to extract uh the right uh the right content to go with each episode, and I mean it was just a beautiful process of actually genuinely watching my kids grow up on camera and being there through every play, every failure, every success.
Mm.
I think that's what really makes this show incredible, especially for kids who don't understand. Also, we're enlightening a lot of people on the process of AAU ball, because they would say, "Oh well, you jump from team to team." No, it's not like that. We're just going a level up, finding our way because the girls was growing so fast. And I mean, 2 years ago they could barely dribble. Now they can put the ball behind their back and shoot threes and stuff like. So it's just an amazing amount of growth in such short amount of time, and that's what we're really exploiting. Just whatever you do, kiddo, just stay consistent, stay working at it, stay believing in yourself, and you'll be called to be on a part of a lot of these major camps they've gotten invited to, and do those great things too. So it's just inspiration.
That's good. I mean, I'm not a dad yet, and hopefully, when I do become a father, I can give the inspiration that if my kids want to play basketball, they want to play football, baseball, hockey, that I'll support any decision that they make, and make sure that they get the right training and the right push to become as great as they want to be. We are talking to former Jaguars, Broncos, Cowboys defensive lineman Jeremy Mincey, friend of the show. We love him, doing some big things. He has a YouTube channel. He's got a new show, the Mincey family, doing a lot of great things. Speaking of basketball, the WNBA is growing right now, and Caitlin Clark has really brought a different look to the WNBA. And a lot of these girls right now are jealous. Right now in the WNBA, there's so many people putting her down. She's quiet. She goes out there. She plays her game. She doesn't really attack anything anybody is saying outside of the game of basketball. And she just goes out there and plays the game. And she plays it so well. And you look at her in the second half of the season, she's been the best player, really transitioning. I mean, she's the woman Steph Curry right now with the WNBA. She's really bringing the WNBA shoe deals, new endorsements, TV deals, $1 billion, TV deal that they just got, and women are just attacking her. Why do you believe that all these women that want, the cameras on them, and they finally have it because of Caitlin Clark, are so jealous of Caitlin Clark?
I mean, it's just you got to look at it like this. You got Aja Wilson, who's been in the game
Mhm.
for so long, and she's been stellar. Like, she's won championship after championship, and she has not got the recognition Caitlin Clark has, but she has the accolades. So from that standpoint of it, you can kind of see why Teresi and certain vets are kind of jealous, because they put their life on the line for that. And they're comparing that to a college student who just had the hyper run, which is a phenomenal player. She deserves everything, absolutely. But from a veteran standpoint, she's getting all the bells and whistles, and they kind of laid the foundation. So I mean, I just think it's one of those things that they'll get over, and they'll appreciate her later once they get all the perks from what she brings to the WNBA.
Hmm.
So it's
So what
just
are your
one of those things. Us vets, I was mad. Think about it. I mean, wouldn't you be mad if you led a team in sacks and you was their MVP, and then they signed Greg Hardy and give him $13 million, and then don't want to give you $500K?
I understand that, but again, it's not Caitlin Clark's fault that
No, definitely not.
nobody, she's just playing her game. She's doing everything that she's supposed to do, and she's getting all the accolades. That's not her fault. So why is everybody attacking her? She didn't do nothing wrong. If she wasn't good, then you can attack her. Why is she getting the
Right.
shootout? She's been unbelievable in the
Yes,
second.
she has. Yes,
She's
she
been
has.
outstanding.
Yes, she
How
has.
many players have we ever seen do this before?
Yes, she has. And I mean, like I said, it's just one of those things that they'll get over it. They eventually get over it because they understand how it benefits all. So, and then they women, man. Women gonna be mad at women.
Oh, yeah. We all know that. Yes, yes.
So
You're
it's
gonna
just
get yourself into trouble now, Jeremy.
it's kind of
Be
in their
careful.
nature.
Be
Excuse me.
careful, man. Your woman might be listening. You have daughters. They're gonna be like, "Pops, what are you talking about?"
They know they can get emotional, but that's why Dad's here to mix the logic with the emotions. Add
I
a little,
have a lot of logic and
sprinkle a
emotion.
little more logic in there than emotions.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on it from the Olympic perspective, keeping Clark and Reese off the team in the Olympics as well?
I think Clark and Reese should have been on there.
Mm-hmm.
I think for one, it just would have brought so many more ticket sales. It would have formed an alliance with the youth and the veterans. So I understand that they wanted certain type of mindsets because when you play in the Olympics, it is another level. But at the same time, I think it's just two girls. It wasn't like half of the team or nothing like that. You should have just went on and let them come in and help make a difference. And they would have contributed because they're dominating in their own rightful positions anyway. So, I mean, I don't think it would have been a drop off.
Well, the Olympics hate me, by the way, Jeremy, because I did have an Instagram with my own name. I don't use it. Only friends and family followed me. And because Speedy posted up something I said about the Olympics and the whole situation with Caitlin Clark, they froze my account and completely got rid of my Instagram because
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I had something like that happen to me, man. Like
Mhm.
my official Instagram's gone because I disagreed with a guy. Like, it's crazy, like how they could just take everything you worked for to build away, all because somebody pressed a button that I don't know. It's crazy, man. I know how you feel about that. That sucks.
Yeah, well, the Olympics didn't really look very good throughout the Olympics, okay, for some of the crap that you saw. And I'm not going to mention, I'm sure everybody that watched the Olympics throughout this year for the 2 weeks of garbage that they were trying to promote was just despicable. That's all I'm going to say. I don't need the Olympics to tell me anything that everybody didn't see, okay? That's just my opinion. Anyways, Jeremy, we love you. You were fantastic. And I'm going to tell you something. You have a show, and when you're doing episodes, you should be thinking about bringing us on. Listen, I could do some background stuff. I have personality too. I mean, if you followed a camera around me, I'd probably have people dying laughing because
I can believe that. And
there
I
is.
would love to. I would love to. I would love
We
to
need to
put this
talk.
on.
We need to talk
I
offset.
would love that.
I mean, you're a director. I mean, come on, man. We could really put something together here. And I could get myself into a lot of trouble, but that's what I do all the time anyways here in New York is get myself into trouble, but in funny ways. So there is definitely, I was in Florida. I could have gotten a lot of footage of that crap that I was dealing with. I'll tell you a funny story before I let you go. So me and Brittany, my girlfriend, we went to Walmart before we went to her father's house. We stopped at Walmart to get some food. You don't want to go empty handed to somebody's house. Okay. So we're pulling into Walmart, all right? And we're waiting for this person to move out of the spot. The person moves, and all of a sudden, this guy pulls right into the spot. He sees us waiting. I have the blinkers on. He pulls into the spot. So my girlfriend tells me, you're not going to say anything, blah, 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 blah. And I told her, yeah, I'm going to say something, but I'm not going to say something when you can actually hold in Florida. God forbid I go over there to the car and I say something stupid to him. He pulls out a gun and shoots me. So I wasn't going to do that. So we waited. We went into the Walmart, and I said, we're bound to bump into these guys. We're bound to bump into them. So we're walking and everything like that. And she spotted them. She's like, there they are. Go say something to them. I walked up to this guy right now. I was wearing a wife beater. I'm a pretty big guy. Okay, I'm wearing a wife beater, and I walk up to this guy, and I say, "Excuse me," and he looks back, and he looks down, and he looks up, like one of those movies, man. It was so funny. I could tell, she's laughing. She sees what's going on behind me, and I say, you took my car spot. You know that you did see me have my blinkers on. Did you not see me? And his friend comes right behind him and say, "What's going on here?" I said, he looks at me too, and I say, I was like, "This, you two guys, you fucking stole my, my spot. What's up with that?"
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. Blah, 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 blah." I was like, "Listen, no problem. I just wanted to go up to you. I just want to let you know that I saw what you did. And I just wanted to make sure that you saw what you did." And I walked away, and she walked with me, and she started laughing. She's like, "I could tell he was scared. He looked at you. He was afraid. He didn't even know what to say to you when you walked up to him." And I didn't even care. That had nothing to do with it. But if you saw his face turned bright white. Okay.
Mm.
He was like a Dominican. He turned white, dude. Jeremy, it was so funny. If I had a video camera on it, you would have laughed your ass off. His face he looked from my feet up. And as soon as he looked at me, he stepped back. He thought I was gonna beat him up or something.
He thought he seen the devil, man.
He thought he saw the devil. I got tattoos all over my body. You know what I mean? I got tattoos. I'm not gonna brag. I'm 220 pounds. I'm not a small guy. And he was shocked that I walked up to him. He was just shocked. I knew he knew that I saw him do it. You know what I mean? But he tried to play like he didn't know. He's sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. And then his buddy comes right behind him, and he looks up too. He's like, "Oh yeah, we're sorry. We're sorry." And I walk away. But it was funny. If you were there and you actually saw their faces, it was one of the funniest things you ever see. I tried to be straight, and I walked away, and she's laughing. She was laughing. I wasn't. He was. So that was just one thing. But there was a lot of crazy things that happened. I almost got into like 3 freaking accidents. Nobody in Florida knows how to drive. Nobody there knows how to drive.
Don't play around in Florida.
Oh my God. They don't use blinkers. And they stop in the middle of the highway, and they'll start speeding, and then they'll slow down just as fast. It was horrible. But listen, it is what it is. It's a whole nother story. Jeremy, we love you. Let's talk, man. Let's talk Offset, man.
Okay, say less, man. Anytime, man. Anytime you guys need me, man. You know how we rock.
I know how you rock, man. You rock with some hits. You rock with some shows, directing. I mean, come on, man. What's next? So what's the next Pixel movie? You did say that I'd be a voice of a Pixel character.
You would be a great voiceover.
Well, there you go, man.
They need to cast you in Angry Birds.
Angry Birds. I would be funny. What bird would I be?
The one that gets mad and turned into fire. Son of a bitch!
Shut dumb bastard!
The Angry Birds depiction of a Jets fan.
It'll be green. I'll be
green flames.
Gang green. My feathers falling off. I'll be stripped to the bottom of my feather. The only thing I'll have is something hanging from the bottom. Anyways, Jeremy, we love you, man.
Hey, love y'all, man. Much love, man. Thanks for having me, as always.
Absolutely. We love you, Jeremy. Jeremy Mincey, fantastic as always. We have to talk Offset, Speedy. And Speedy, you didn't give me what's his name again's information. I was going to go out there in Florida. I was going to go check out his batting range and stuff like that. Jason, right? Or was it Jason? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he's on.
What do you?
I messaged him on your Twitter.
Well, you didn't. I didn't see it. You should have given me his number. I was out there. I was hanging up. I was pretty busy, anyways. I didn't have a chance to even do anything. Everything started going like haywire when we were going out to Homasa. That's what it was. Our father lives in Homasa. It's like Homomasa. There you go. What a name, ladies and gentlemen. Homomasa. Anyways, Jeremy, we love you. We'll talk to you very soon.
All right, guys. Salute, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of your night, man.
Absolutely. We love him. He's fantastic. Always.
And now he
Always.
has a movie idea for you. Angry Birds.
I had Angry
Jets
Birds.
fan edition.
Could you imagine me on Angry Birds?
And then you would be the Angry Bird with the green flame launching it and a bunch of Bambies.
I love his style. I mean, look at it. Look at his hat. He's got the like. He's dressed to impress, man. I mean, he's wearing his he's wearing his nice striped shirts. He's wearing his backwards hat, the glasses. I mean, who's better than Jeremy Mincey? I mean, seriously, he's rocking it and he's in charge. He's doing great things on YouTube too, man. I love it. I love everything that he does. Every time he comes on the show, he brightens up everything. So we really appreciate the time as always. And all the time that he gives us, because he's a busy guy. He's a director. He does so many things, man. I mean, it's crazy.